For over a decade, I've been on a journey to climb the world's hardest cracks. It innocently started on a local gritstone outcrop where myself and climbing partner Tom took on the rarely repeated raised roof, and at the time I'd never climbed inverted. We both made early repeats of this route and were hooked. In fact, Tom had been hooked on crack since before meeting me, so much so he'd actually already established one of the hardest crack boulders in the world, all elements graded V11. With Tom's help and guidance I made an early repeat of this and felt as though my world into hard crack had finally begun. Over the next 5 years we both really got our teeth stuck into difficult lines in a variety of sizes. In 2015, when I was busy exploring big wall solo climbing, Tom established a new level of crack bouldering. He put a season of work into this problem and came away with the world's hardest crack boulder, the Kraken, at V13. Myself and Tom had actually briefly had a session on this boulder the same year I climbed all elements, and neither of us were even close. So when Tom did it, I remember thinking this was a monumental effort. At the time Tom climbed it, I was deep into other trad and big wall projects. I didn't really have any desire to revisit the boulder and focused my attention on the remaining hardest trad cracks in each size. These came and went, and it started boiling down to the Kraken being one of the last large holes in my crack CV. On a trip back to the UK, I set a few days aside to take a look. Having not done that much roof crack bouldering over the last few months, I decided a quick revisit to the All Elements cave would be a good starting place. Okay, so we are at All Elements, which is Tom's problem. I'm going to try the 8A Plus, which comes out from the back and along the lip. The crux is at the beginning here. So I go into a fist jam. Yeah, and I think my fist has grown in size since I was 18. So I've got a bigger fist, whether that's from doing lots of fist jamming for the last 10 years. And then we have the famous matchbox hold. So Tom was using this, and it was like a crucial hold in the middle here to help him get out to these jams. And then he brought a friend down here, and his friend broke it off straight away. I just broke more of the matchbox off.
Oh no.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh no. I did, something fell off there. It feels slightly better. And then you have the second crux. So it's quite easy to get into the bottom of the jam, but then to get your hand all the way into the back is actually quite tricky. So it's going to be interesting to see whether I can actually do the 8A and then into the 7B for the full pumpy 8A Plus tick. The revisit to the All Elements cave went as well as it could have. After getting familiar with the original moves again, I made a quick repeat and most likely second ascent of 1 infinity. However, knowing how much harder the Kraken is than the boulders here, it was still going to be interesting to see how the moves felt on that boulder.
Tom did it back in 2015, and then Alex Waterhouse, who has actually been on the Wide Boyz channel before, he then did it a few years later. Yeah, it was basically good to see like the strong indoor comp climbers smashing out the crack climbing. But Alex is good at crack climbing anyway. He's strong and also good at crack climbing, so he kind of made short work of it. But there's only been 2 ascents that I know of, Tom and Alex, so we're here to try and make 3. Now it's actually like good cons. The Johns are in. There's a light breeze, there's no smeg. You can see the horizon is crisp, and that's when you know John is around. Con John. The boulder. You can tell I'm not a boulderer. The route. The boulder starts here at the back. There's actually some quite good jams here, like little pods. Jam, 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 jam. So from here we have the first hard section, which is basically a long move from this good jam to that good jam there. But there's a few extra bits and bobs here. So like a little finger jam, there's a mono there, and then this is where is the crux. So you have to like backhand this mono. I know Tom went left hand into the mono, sort of like this, and spun 360 that way. And then you get into some thin hands pods, and then you have to come through to a ring lock, so you're like that in a roof, and you do a tricky bump move, pa, into a really good hand jam. Finish on the break up there, and that's it. So it's quite a long problem. It's a long power endurance boulder. When Tom was training for this route as well, he did the usual thing of making a replica in the cellar, and at the time I remember trying Tom's replica and thinking, this is absolutely desperate.
The session on the boulder went better than I expected, and within an hour or 2 I'd done all the individual sequences. The skin felt warm for the 2 mono moves, so I felt ready for a first proper red point attempt.
I'm happy with that because I just wasn't expecting to do it now. 12 years ago I couldn't even touch it. That felt good. A little bit slightly different sequence to what Tom used in the crooks, but seemed to work alright.